Kody Brown sat down with Meri in a Cedar City park. But Meri wasn't having any of it with Kody. And out of all the wives who were told stories and told they were sorry, Meri was the one who fought back the hardest. She wouldn't let Kody off the hook, and she pushed and poked him to find out why he was there, what the apology was about, and what this was all about. And she didn't think he was being honest or serious. She wasn't really on the same page with him. As I thought about it, I realized something I had known about Meri for a long time. Kody paints her as someone who is difficult, hostile. And I understand now. People who have been abused by narcissists will start to see you as argumentative, difficult, and aggressive if you tell them the truth and don't take their crap. I mean, they will look at anyone that just pushes back at their fake show as though they're being there to fight. People are so sensitive that anyone who doesn't agree with them or follow the rules is seen as bad. Kody sees Meri as that person. He won't get away with anything because she will hold him to the fire. That's too much for him to handle. He doesn't want anyone to tell him that he's not this god on a cloud and benign. And it was, oh my goodness. It went about as best as you can expect it, and Meri was definitely skeptical, and Kody for sure was a fool. What was clear was it was absolutely obvious that this apology was to quiet Meri. He wanted her to shut up. He wanted her friends to shut up, and he was very mad about what happened with her friends and how her friends speak about him on the show. It's clear that this was about in the beginning of the episode, he admitted that he got up in her face over the phone and in the face of her friends and told them to shut up. And so this whole apology is to silence them and tell them to shut up, but doing it in a manipulative way. And then after acting like he did the right thing by paying her for Coyote Pass that he does, he owed her by the way he then tells her he's doing this so she can move on, which is hysterical. Well, I want you more than anything to just be able to move on. I do. I am. I have. The way your friends talk about me, that doesn't seem like it, but I wanted you to be able to do that. You can stop right there. Listen, this isn't a time for us to fight. Well, then don't bring up my friends and what they say, because guess what? I'm going to tell you this, Kody, that no, I'm going to tell you, because it'll just spoil. I'm just here to apologize. Not going to tell you this, Kody. I'm going to tell you. You're not going to shut me down anymore. Good for Meri for standing up for herself and saying that he's not going to just walk all over her and say whatever he wants, and then she doesn't get to say whatever she wants back to him, because that's the way this conversation was trying to go. But Kody screwed up. And he screwed up not because he brought up her friends, but he screwed up because he brought up the reason for why he was there. His goal is clear. He doesn't want any of these women speaking about him in a bad light on this show. He doesn't want them to reply to questions that the producers bring to them in a negative way. He doesn't want them to move on with their lives, but also think on the life that they left. And he doesn't understand that he doesn't get to decide how people react, answer, or move on. And by the way, speaking about your ex doesn't mean you haven't moved on. Speaking about ongoing problems that your ex is doing doesn't mean you haven't moved on. If like your ex is being a crap dad, you have a right to say that. If he's not treating your child well, you have a right to say that. If he's not treating you well, if he's trying to lock you into an ENDA in order to get you to sign off on a property to get money that you properly are owed, you have a right to say that. You have a right to say whatever you want. He has no problem and didn't have a problem saying anything he wanted about these women for years, degrading them and shaming them. But now that they can fight back and say what they want, now it's well. It's clear that you haven't moved on because your friends are talking about me. No, it's that you're the one on a show, Kody, making this about your blow-ups there. I mean, it's real easy here, Kody. If you don't want people to talk about you, don't be on a TV show. And nobody here is telling him to not talk about them, because that would never work. You're not going to shut me down anymore. The cruel irony in Meri saying, I'm not going to let you shut me down anymore, is the weirdest thing, because all two exes and Robin don't believe Meri has ever been stopped ever. This is something Kody's done the whole time I've known him, is just try to talk over me, or try to stop me from saying something. I'm not going to let him do it anymore. You know, I think it's really ridiculous that Kody thinks that he gets to speak for Janelle, or for Christine, or even for Robin, when it comes to Meri. And I think that all of the women have not had their own say in different ways with Kody. And just because Meri talks up for herself, doesn't mean she hasn't been silenced. He is speaking about the dynamic within the pecking order of their family, not about the dynamics that happened within the individual relationships with Kody. And by the way, those women have nothing to do with Kody and Meri's specific relationship. If they are there to simply speak about Kody and Meri, him bringing that up, even to the producers, is just another way to swipe at her and remind everyone that she's just this bossy, opinionated woman that has never been quiet. And it's a way for him to deflect from the fact that he's actually there to try to silence her. And Meri did for years. 1000% hold back, bite her tongue, protect Kody, even though she didn't agree with him, let him just walk all over her. And the fact that he's like, she's never had a say. Yep, Kody, you kept her on a string for 8 years. How dare you? I'm going to finish what I'm saying. And what I'm saying is when I'm not treated well, the people closest to me will protect me. And that's what my friends do. Apology is so needed here, cuz this is still so toxic. And I apologize for that. Do you admit that you are toxic to me? Or are you just being general? I apologize that I am toxic to you, Meri. Or was toxic to you. Things just keep getting weirder and weirder and weirder because Kody starts apologizing for not finding her funny. Kody apologizes for having feelings about her friends. Kody apologizes for literally not being whatever. I mean, he keeps saying, I apologize, I apologize, I apologize. And he thinks if he keeps saying, I apologize, it's going to somehow de-escalate everything. And Meri is rightly guarded and suspicious because Kody cannot be trusted. And what I think is just ridiculous is that it is so clear that he doesn't want to engage in a talk. He doesn't want any back and forth. He's not there to actually resolve anything. Because when she tries to bring things up, he tells her like, oh, that's water under the bridge or that's furniture down the river. That's furniture down the river. We're not going to talk about that. That's not why I'm here. I'm here just to apologize. And it's just obvious that he's on a script. He doesn't want to deviate from the script. He wants to just shut her up and thinks that if he can, charm her with these apologies, somehow she's going to be lapping him up like a dog again. And it's just ridiculous. He has zero respect for anyone. He doesn't care to listen to anyone. And this is literally a grandstand of him trying to look a certain type of way, and it looks ridiculous. And I can't believe Meri didn't walk off. Apologize mostly that I said I didn't love you. I don't think that was wrong of me to say that. I want to apologize for how toxic I was during our breakup. I apologize that I wasn't there for you when we were in Las Vegas. I apologize that your dark time, I wasn't there. The dark time was because you weren't there. I apologize for that. So things calm down. And then he starts apologizing for stuff that it's so insincere the way that he's apologizing. And you know what makes me really angry about this? Is that he's not saying I'm sorry. He's not saying the words I'm sorry. He's saying I apologize. And I recognize that I apologize is equivalent to I'm sorry. But to me, there's something that's more sincere about someone saying I'm sorry and saying it with their whole chest and not just regurgitating a script of everything they think the other person needs to hear in order to shut them up. And like bringing up the stuff about Las Vegas. I mean, Kody, why don't you just say, I'm sorry that I lied to you about divorcing you for the Robbins kids. I'm sorry that I led you to think that nothing would change with the divorce. I'm sorry that I misled all of you and made you think that everything would stay status quo and that I wasn't going to run off into the sunset and abandon all of you and my family for a woman that's 11 years younger than me and cash in on the notoriety and fame I'm receiving and trade you all in for a younger, hotter polygamy model. I mean, that's the kind of apology they all deserve, but they'll never receive. And then Meri is calmly listening to him. But then he gets even weirder and he starts talking about he's not trying to get back together with her. And it's like trying to act like Meri would somehow want him back. It was crazy. I know. I'm not trying to make us back together in any way. Oh hell. That's never going to happen. No. We never ever getting back together. I'm not saying that. I don't know why you said that. I don't want my memories to be mistaken. Oh, it's not. Okay. Thank you. It's not, oh, it's clear. Oh, it's clear. It's clear on my part. I don't know how you feel. Like, are you trying to talk yourself into the fact that you still don't want me? This is how arrogant Kody is he truly thinks that just being in her presence would make her want him back. Like what? She's clearly so over this man. She's also done a lot of therapy because it's very clear that she's walking this into the situation with her guard up, setting clear limits with him and calling him out. I mean, she finally gets to a place where she's telling him like, all of this, I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. It just seems weird. I don't know what you're trying to do here. It doesn't seem like it's sincere. It doesn't feel real. And it wasn't real. And Kody just keeps like saying, I apologize. Oh, I apologize that I was triggered. You walked into the room and I was triggered. And then he tells Meri that her just like showing up triggered him. And it's, I think for Kody, triggering is someone causing him to look at himself and someone that won't just let him talk at them and just take it. And I know what it's like to be around someone like Kody. I know the eggshells you have to walk on. And I also know what it's exactly like it is to be married because I was that person in the life of the narcissist that I know. I did not let them walk all over me. And I held my limits. And watching Kody and Meri in this exchange triggers me because it makes me remember why I'm no touch with the people in my life, right? Because the narcissist can never let the truth teller just be honest with them. They can't handle anyone shining in a mirror to them. And Meri's holding her limits. And she actually says something to him that I'm proud of her saying. Kody, I'm not a bad guy. I will stand my limits though. And I think that's very uncomfortable for you. You and I can't talk because we will trigger each other no matter what. So I don't get to say anything or ask questions or you can't feel yes, please feel free. But you just said I can't. Well, I mean, listen, I'm not here to fight about something. I don't want to go picking the bags out of the river. After a while, Kody starts talking about how there was a point in time when he was, had a wife threaten to leave him, and I'm guessing it was Christine. And he said he was going to buy her the house down the street, and he was just going to let her live there for free. Which, by the way, he never did. Christine always paid her own bills. And he would pay the child support. It has to be about Christine and that he's ashamed now, because he lost himself in what he used to be and how he used to act, and how he used to care about people, and in the breakups, he stopped being benevolent, and stopped caring about people and didn't hold up his word about what it was that he was going to do. And to me, what it just really sounds like is that Kody is ashamed to have egg on his face. And shame is something that narcissists 100% feel because it's a shame against their ego that they didn't do what they were meant to do. And he cries about the shame. And you know what's interesting is that Meri makes a point in a talking head to kind of just say he used to be like this before Robin. Before Robin. Kody didn't think like this before Robin. What does that tell you? It tells you that he's ashamed that he put the needs of one woman in front of everyone else's. But he won't say it directly. So instead, he talks around it. They start fighting then again about her friends, which Kody still is having a very big problem with. And I know you think and I know you think all my friends are you can keep thinking that if you want, but doesn't matter. I listen. No, it matters to me. It doesn't matter 'cause what you think of me, and my friends doesn't matter. But my point is, my opinion of your friends and my opinion of you is none of your business. Let it go. You just need to stop doing it. So Kody loves to say that other people's opinions about him are none of his business, while at the same time making comments on the show very publicly calling Meri's friends saying that she will never find somebody unless she gets rid of her friends. Making it very clear how much he detests her friends, right? And if I were Meri, I would be pissed too. Because the only people in Meri's life that actually have her back are her friends. I mean, she has family, but it's her friends that are there for her right now. It's her friends that are helping her rebuild her life. It's her friends who are sticking up for her and telling her to stay strong. And it let Kody walk all over her. It's them that are helping her spot the signs of narcissistic abuse and realize and validate her experience without the gaslighting. And Kody is just so obsessed with what they're saying about him that he wants them to just stop talking about it. And really, he's the one that's calling them names for them pointing out the truth about what he did. And all he cares about is making them stop talking. And I'm just glad that Meri stuck up for her friends, stuck up for herself, and just told him to quit. But I'm apologizing. I'm just asking you, Kody, to keep your thoughts about me and my friends to yourself. If it's not my business, please keep it to yourself. Please ask your friends to keep their views of me to themselves because they don't know me. They were around for many years and you know that. Not with me. Just with you. Nope, not just with me. Basically, what Kody was telling her was that I'm allowed to say whatever I want because it's none of your business and it shouldn't matter to you what I say, right? But you guys don't get to talk about me and you're still angry and it's none of your business what I say about you. And Meri is simply telling him that, like, if you're going to apologize to me, you need to quit doing what it is that you say you're apologizing for. It's not just an empty apology, right? And Kody, just all he cares about is silence her, making it stop, making the friend stop talking about him. And that's just not how it works. Every single person that's in a relationship has it on, and especially in this case, when they're on a public platform, if they're being asked by producers to talk about the relationship and moving on and moving forward, or ask questions about their marriage, or to discuss how things were, or ask questions about what's going on with certain things happening with your ex, they have an obligation under their contract to respond. They can't just not answer those questions. And if the friends are not liking what they see and how somebody is being treated, they also have a right to stick up for their friends. You know, how many years did we hear Kody trash on Meri on the show, and he let the whole family trash on her for years? And now the roles are flipped, and he doesn't like it. And he just calls it fighting by her having an expectation that he be true to his word. And then she finally gets to a point where they're just like going back and forth like this, and she says to him, you know, if you mean all of this, there's a lot of things in your life that you still need to clean up. And there's a lot of kids in this family that deserve a better father. Point is, I hope you're at a place now that you can say that you don't regret it, because you have so many kids, Kody, and I don't want, let's not talk about the kids that's verboten. I don't know what these big words that you're using, verboten it, means. It's not allowed, because it's a whole stream of bull, and I don't want to talk about it. I'm working out my relationship with my children. So essentially the entire apology amounts to it's a failure in that he won't actually talk about anything. He won't talk about the kids. He won't speak about not doing things again. He won't admit any mistakes. He won't let her talk. He is still kind of annoyed about her friends. He won't talk about the kids and calls it I mean, which is terrible. And it ends with them parting ways and basically Meri saying in her talking head that this is great that he's saying these things, but as far as she can tell, nothing's changed. She said he's still not involved with his kids. He didn't treat people well with the Kody pass issue. He hasn't treated the exes with care. He's not making good on, this belief system that he says he has. He's just not, nothing has changed. He's still what he is, mistreating people, acting as though there's no responsibility, not taking accountability for anything, and not doing anything to change the situation. So, it's just words, and she's guarded, and she's clearly, that's her right to not trust him, and I don't blame her. And then he runs off and has to go to the bathroom, and that's about it. So, they sparred over her friends, and Kody looked depressed and ridiculous, and Meri called him out. So, tell me what your ideas are in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed, and click the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, besties.